Zippy said the left is filled with race hustlers. So, of course, a few groups learn to use their tactics, even if they're not directly part of the left anymore. Bingo. Exactly. So Quality says to Zippy, you say race hustler, and I immediately think Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. Bingo. Those are the woke left race hustlers. People like Nick Fuentes are the race hustlers of the right. They are woke. They are the same, just in a different manifestation. Same energy, different direction.
Only when I'm not prepared for the pathway by which it comes. When I'm aware of it, no. But when not at all, except maybe to encourage me. Somebody put up a meme of me the other day, and it shows like a guy building a castle standing inside the wall, a big giant guy, and it's me. And there's all these people throwing rocks, and it says on the meme, it says James when his haters throw rocks at him, and I'm building a castle out of all the stones they throw at me.
Except Dave Smith, who you won't debate. So Nick said racism is racism, no matter who it's against or who has the feeling. Yep. Is it Simo or Simo? Was a sniper. He said left and right are both progressive. It's not about tradition and reformation or revolution. It's about power. These days, for show.
Except they can catch you off guard. They can catch you off guard. And what catches you off guard the most, and this is the power of the struggle session, what will catch you off guard the most is when one of your friends buys it. Mm-hmm. They see it and they go with the people that are haranguing you. Mm-hmm. That's when it'll get you.
You know, like all the Christians who give me shit for being an atheist, or all the Christians who give me shit for not hating gay people.
That's when it'll affect you.
So the proliferation of this kind of pathology.
United States seems to depend on who the mainstream wants us to hate the most things at the time. Yep. That's why you gotta think for yourself.
Yeah. So the proliferation of this kind of pathology seems to be linked to...
Another characteristic is the attempt to get people to distance themselves from you.
Let them talk, James.
I face that very frequently.
Right.
You want to get away from...
Was that a weird cut, or did it just...
From him to get...
Proliferation of this kind of pathology seems to be linked to...
Another characteristic is the attempt to get people to distance themselves from you. I face that very frequently.
Right.
You want to get away from him. He's contaminated.
Yeah, well, that's discussed terminology again, right? You're the carrier of something pathological.
That's right.
Yeah. So the social media platforms, so Musk's perspective, and Rogan's to some degree too, mine for that matter, is that the best antiseptic is sunlight. But there might be a flaw in that reasoning, and maybe you can help me think it through. When I'm sitting across from you, I bear the weight of my words, right? It's going to have an impact on the net, but it's also going to impact the relationship I have with you.
On the net. And this is kind of what Devon was talking about in Discord last night.
And so I'm constrained or regulated. I'm regulated in my utterances by consequences. And so there's never been a time really where free speech existed without reputational weight. Now, maybe pamphleteering and that sort of thing, but that's trivial compared to what we have now.
Right.
I mean, how many people can you get your pamphlet to? And what sort of effect is that going to have? That was back in the time of writing, but now your pathology can multiply virtually without end. And then I'm thinking, well, maybe it's necessary. I thought for Twitter, for example, that there should be two sections. There should be a section where people's identification is validated and a section for the anonymous trolls. And that should be demarcated. So you can go visit hell.
I'm okay with that, because I as long as you're not like, it is creating a hierarchy, as he was saying, but that's a justifiable hierarchy. That if you have your identity verified by the company, which you don't have to do, then your words should have more weight, because you are less likely to be a shitposter. And so what I find most curious is many Germans outright defend Stalin, as does the American Communist Party members today do as well. Communists gonna communists.
Trolls, and that should be demarcated. So you can go visit hell land of trolls if you want, but you know that they're not real people.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with that, as far as I can tell, is the digital ID problem. I mean, the net allows people to escape the reputational consequences of their psychopathology, their destructive,
For better or worse.
sadistic, corrosive, power-mad, hedonistic psychopathology. It's a terrible thing. And people have no idea how dangerous it is.
Oh, that's because they got us to back up anything that goes wrong, right?
But if you verify IDs electronically, then we walk down the route to Chinese totalitarianism, something like that, as far as
the problem is, I don't want that to be a government thing. I want that to be a private company thing where it's X's responsibility to protect that data. And if they can't do that, then they can't ask for it. And if they, if data gets leaked or something, then it's on them. Because if it's a governmental thing, then everybody's doxxed and that's it.
I can.
And if you read the original documentation, Stanford University has its DigiChina project and translates Chinese documents. 2014, they're putting forth the social credit system, and they actually explain that the purpose of the social credit system is to achieve a perfect socialism, because it's not just a social control mechanism; it's a Pavlovian training mechanism.
Right, nudging.
It's like your life becomes a video game, nudging you to hold the beliefs that the state wants you to have.
Well, the man who just got elected prime minister in Canada.
Yeah.
He says two quite stunning things in his book, which no Canadians read because we'll leave that lie. 75% of the world's fossil fuels have to stay in the ground. Okay, that's proposition number one. And he's made that a centerpiece of his thinking for 20 years. There's no priority guiding every financial decision by every individual and every corporation that should be prioritized higher than decarbonization. That means every single thing, and then he says, of course, there'll be losers in consequence of that, but it's a price we're willing to pay. We have to pay the sacrifice of others. So this is a man who thinks that net zero is the proper game, and that if you were a moral actor, decarbonization would be your God.
Yeah.
Right? Regulate every single one of your decisions. Well, out of that comes the kind of pathocracy that you described. It's like, you've seen this already. There's edges appearing. There's credit cards, they were issued in Australia, that track your carbon footprint.
Yeah.
Right. And at the moment.
Oh, hell no.
I'm not in for any of that. Zippy said, the more freedom you give the government, the less freedom you have. Bars on bars on bars, Zippy. Freedom is a zero-sum game when you talk about the people and the government.